2.5 million years ago, a leopard was hunting your ancestors so consistently that scientists eventually gave it a name, not dangerous predator. A name, the original human killer. In 1994, paleoanthropologist C.K. Brain spent years excavating Swartkrans Cave in South Africa, cataloguing hundreds of hominid bones. What he found wasn't random damage. It was a pattern. Skull after skull with 2 puncture holes on top, spaced perfectly to match the canine teeth of a leopard. Not accidents, not scavenging after death. Kills. Deliberate, repeated, systematic kills. Your ancestors weren't apex predators struggling to stay on top. They were in the middle of the food chain. Prey to leopards from above, hyenas from the ground, cave lions at the edge of every watering hole. Every biological advantage belonged to something else. Speed, cause, night vision, camouflage. You got none of it. And yet, every single predator that hunted your ancestors is extinct. You're still here. So what happened between that skull in Swartkrans Cave and the world those predators left behind? First, understand what you were actually up against. Not one predator. All of them, at the same time. Smilodon fatalis, the saber-toothed cat, 600 pounds, 11-inch canines designed to puncture the throats of bison. It didn't chase. It waited, near water sources, in tall grass, completely still, then exploded out at 30 miles per hour. One bite. Done. The short-faced bear, 12 feet tall standing upright. 2,000 pounds. Built for endurance running at 40 miles per hour. Most bears are opportunistic. This one was a hyper-carnivore. It ate meat only, and it could run longer than you. Cave hyenas hunted in packs of 20. At night, with a bite force that crushed bone like dry wood. Cave lions were 25% larger than anything alive today. Everywhere humans went, something had been there longer, was built better, and was very hungry. And we had flat teeth. The first weapon wasn't a spear. It wasn't even a rock. It was a circle of light 30 feet across. Wonderwork Cave, South Africa. Archaeologists found evidence of controlled fire dating back 1 million years. Burned bones, ash layers, charred plant material, the oldest half ever discovered. And it changed the equation overnight. Every apex predator that hunted humans was a night hunter. Leopards, cave hyenas, cave lions, all of them built for darkness. Eyes that turned moonlight into daylight, while yours turned moonlight into shadow. Before fire, when the sun set, you climbed a tree and stayed completely still until morning. After fire, you owned the night, not because you could suddenly see, because they wouldn't come near the flames. It's hardwired into predators at a level deeper than hunger. Even lions in Africa today avoid fire. Not trained to, not taught to, just won't cross it. For the first time, the ground at night was safe, but fire only protected you at camp. The moment you left that circle, you were back in their world. So your ancestors developed something stranger than any weapon ever invented. They started following predators, not running from them. Following them. Anthropologist Robert Blumenschein spent years in Tanzania observing exactly this. Early humans approaching fresh lion kills, walking directly toward the carcass, throwing rocks, making noise, advancing as a group, and the lions backed off. Not because humans were stronger, because predators are businessmen. Defending a kill costs energy. Getting injured defending a kill is a death sentence in the wild. A group of screaming, rock-throwing hominids making the calculation not worth it. That's rational. So humans ate, not by hunting, by stealing. Kleptoparasitism. Taking food from predators who already did the work may have been one of the primary ways early humans got protein for hundreds of thousands of years. You didn't beat them with muscle. You beat them with nerve. But the real shift wasn't physical. It was information. Human brains evolved to see patterns in everything. Broken twigs, disturbed soil, the way grass bends after something heavy walked through it. We developed this to track prey. Then we turned it on the predators themselves. Saber-tooths ambush near water at dusk. Cave lions avoid open ground in daylight. Short-faced bears are solitary and territorial. Find the boundary of one's range, stay on the other side. We started mapping their schedules, their habits, their weaknesses. And here's what made this truly dangerous, we remembered. We taught. A chimpanzee that survives a leopard attack learns one thing: run faster next time. A human that survived the leopard attack comes home and tells everyone exactly what happened, where, how, and what worked. Every generation inherited not just genes, they inherited accumulated intelligence about every predator on the landscape. Knowledge compounded. The predators never had a chance to catch up. Then came the weapon that ended the equation permanently. Not fire, not nerve, not pattern recognition. A piece of wood, 6 feet long, weighted at the tip. Schöningen, Germany. 1995. Archaeologists excavating a coal mine uncovered 8 wooden spears dating back 400,000 years, perfectly balanced, aerodynamically shaped, thicker at the front, tapering toward the back, exactly like a modern javelin. Whoever made these understood physics. Before the spear, every confrontation with a predator was close. Rocks, noise, bodies. You had to be near enough to be killed. The spear changed the geometry of violence permanently. 30 feet of distance between you and something that could end you in one move. A saber-tooth had spent millions of years evolving to ambush at close range. It had no answer for a threat it couldn't reach. 5 humans with spears and a plan could kill anything alive, and they did. But the thing that actually kept you alive, more than fire, more than spears, more than pattern recognition, was the person next to you. In 2001, archaeologists excavated a site in Dmanisi, Georgia. They found a skull dating back 8 million years. The jaw had no teeth, not recently lost, gone for years before death. Bone had fully regrown over the empty sockets. No teeth means you can't chew raw meat, can't process hard food, can't survive alone. This person lived for years after losing them. Someone was feeding them, chewing food soft, cooking it tender enough to swallow. A lion with no teeth dies within weeks. A human with no teeth gets taken care of. Shanidar Cave, Iraq, a Neanderthal. Blind in one eye, broken arm, healed crooked, severe arthritis. Lived to 40. Couldn't hunt, couldn't fight. His group kept him alive anyway. That's what the predators never had. Not just cooperation, care. Around 50,000 years ago, humans began migrating out of Africa, into Europe, Asia, Australia, the Americas. And everywhere we arrived, the same thing happened. The megafauna started disappearing. Saber-tooths gone 10,000 years ago. Cave lions 14,000 years ago. Short-faced bears 11,000 years ago. Woolly mammoths, giant ground sloths, terror birds, all of them vanishing within a few thousand years of human arrival on each continent. Every continent, same pattern, same timing. Paleontologist Paul Martin called it the Blitzkrieg hypothesis. Humans moving through virgin landscapes where megafauna had never learned to fear. A small, upright, spear-throwing primate that hunted in coordinated groups. They didn't run. They didn't know they should. For 2 million years we were prey. Then, in what amounts to an evolutionary eye blink, we became the most dangerous thing that had ever walked this planet, and the predators never saw it coming. Go back to that skull in Swartkrans cave. 2 puncture holes. A leopard. A child who never had a chance. Between that moment and right now, fire, nerve, pattern recognition, the spear, and the person willing to chew food soft for someone who couldn't do it themselves. None of it was inevitable. Every single piece had to be discovered, remembered, and passed forward by someone who survived long enough to teach it. Your ancestors didn't win because evolution handed them better tools. They won because they refused to face anything alone. That's still running in you right now. The reason you check the back seat before getting in your car. The reason a strange sound at 3 a.m. pulls you out of deep sleep instantly. The reason you cannot fully relax in a room where you can't see the door. 2 million years of calibration don't disappear because the predators did. But here's the part worth sitting with. Every fear you carry was earned, paid for by someone who didn't make it, so that the lesson could reach the next generation, and the next, and eventually, you. The skull in Swartkrans cave is 225 million years old. You are its answer.